Hey students, what's up, seventh graders? Okay, so we have this test coming up, your first history test of this semester, and the first one at this level, secondary education. You have the study guide that's been available for a few days now, and it was sent out to you on MyUSM. You can either print it out or you can do this on your computer. So the purpose of this video is just to talk a little bit about the study guide and how to make it work for you, like what I would do if I was studying for this history test. All right, so let's just jump right in. You're looking at the beginning of it here. This unit had really three parts to it. You had the pre-Columbian America part, then you had this age of exploration, like how it came to be, and then you have the conquistadors, who are really the first from outside of the Americas to come in and explore and go all over the place, even in what's now the United States, probably almost all of the southern part of the United States. That means that pre-Columbian America has been a while ago that we talked about it and learned about it. So one of the first things I would do is I would probably print out my study guide. I like to write on it. It makes me think about it. You don't want to do a study guide when you're having like music with words playing and things like that. You want to be able to think about each one of these bullet points. And if you're going to write like I like to do, you want to be thinking about what you're writing. It helps you to remember. So pre-Columbian America was a while ago, and let me move this up here. Okay. You have to go back in your packet and make sure you have everything for it, everything done. This is one of the first things you should do with a study guide. Do you have all of the information from these classes? If you don't, come see me or talk to a friend, and let's get you what you need to have. Also, you don't really need to go anywhere beyond the packet that you've been given. You don't need to look anything up online. That can kind of be confusing sometimes. Just use your Unit 2 packet and any of the handouts that you were given. If you come to class and you do embrace this idea of business time, that when the door closes, you try to push out other thoughts from other things going on and just focus on the time that you're in the classroom, you're already ahead of the game. It's not easy to do, I understand. But if you can, moving forward, it really will help you to be in focus, to be listening to what's going on and participating in class. Not just sitting there staring off into space, but to be really engaged and telling yourself, there are some things I need to learn. Also, those practice quizzes that we used for those captain's card challenges, those are good. All those conquistador questions that you were given, you may see those again in some shape or form. And there was one online one. Oh, there's two. I'll make them available for you. The Anasazi and Mound Builders quiz, and then the King's Test. Those I can make available for you, so you can take them again, okay? I think I'll just go in and erase all the results. All right, let's get to it. So if we look here at pre-Columbian America, what makes something pre-Columbian? Are you able to write a sentence or two to describe the meaning of pre-Columbian? What three things should be mentioned? Okay, now again, I have to do this on the computer because I can't record it when I'm writing. All right, there'd be a different way to record this. And I would just make a little room for myself and try to remember what it was. I would look at my notes, then try to remember it. Spend a moment with the question. In fact, I wouldn't try to do this study guide all at once. I would do a little bit here, a little bit there. I would start at the beginning, since that was a while ago, that I would do. But, it works differently for different people, right? I'm just showing you what I would do. So I know that this date was really important. You don't need to know the actual day that the Columbus expedition finds a Caribbean island, even though he doesn't know he's in the Caribbean, right? Okay. So it's the year, because that year is very important. It is a turning point in history, because nothing will be the same after this. You know that pre-Columbian means before Columbus, and it takes place in the Americas. All right, so anything pre-Columbian is going to be before the Columbus voyage of 1492 in the Americas, right? Remember, we had some examples of in class, like a very expensive vase from the Ming Dynasty in China that dates to the 13th century. You might have questions like that. Is that pre-Columbian? Well, it's definitely before 1492. It's definitely before Columbus, but it's not in the Americas. Okay, pre-Columbian is anything in our part of the world before that. Okay, so I would maybe take that and write it in a sentence now. Whatever you need to do to help you. If you want to think about using like acronyms or acrostics to help you, you could certainly do that. In this case, 14, if you wrote out the word, and you could make like a little acronym for this as FIB. 1492 in the Americas before Columbus. Just an example, probably not the best one, but you get what I mean, I hope. Okay? All right. So looking through this, I'm not going to go through each question. You guys need to be able to learn how to do that. But I will go through here to try to remind you of some things. This map here was the map where there was two of them. The current U.S., like roads, states, cities, and then the one of the time before Columbus. And we made some observations there, that there were a lot of people here, a lot of people. And most of those people were along both coasts. Interestingly, remember, we compared that to today. Most people in our country today live on both coasts. In the middle, there weren't as many people because of the geography, and that's sort of the same way today. States like Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, these are the least populated states that we have. Okay. Moving on down, we spent a lot of time looking at the mound builders in ancient Pueblo, especially mound builders. And we spent a good amount of time talking about Wisconsin's connection to mound building cultures. So I would spend a lot of time making sure you understand where we fit in there. It's a great connection to make with Wisconsin history. There might be a question dealing with our debate. Okay, how did Columbus know? That's going to be this one here, the Bayham Globe. Remember, we can't bring it to the test, but what you can do is this. You can take pictures of the globe at home, but you have to take a picture of the globe where it has also your name, so I know it's yours. You can print out those pictures. I wouldn't do but maybe 1 or 2 pictures, so we don't like overwhelm our copier here. And you don't do it on the day of the test. You will waste precious time out there trying to print off something, okay? Do it way before the test, way before. Because once I close the door, I don't want people in or out. So if you're out there, you'll be taking the test in the hallway next to the printer without the test. So make a plan for that. I will send you guys the video for making a Bayham Globe again, if you want that. Some of you might not have seen it. You might have missed that class. We didn't get to finish them in blocks 4 and 2, so I'll make that available too. Okay? All right, going back up here to Columbus, the Columbian Exchange is what this is about. Big deal. Okay? That's a big deal. Then, of course, the Age of Exploration, understanding what was happening politically in the world, economically in the world, societal changes going on in the world, and with the Roman Catholic Church at the time. All four of those things kind of combine with what's going on over a pretty long period of time, several hundred years, is going to create this opportunity for this age of exploration. You do need to know how the Crusades fit into that, the economic reasons, what this Renaissance was, but only really how the Renaissance applied to exploration. I'm not interested in Da Vinci's, works of art like the Mona Lisa. We're focusing on just the one part of the Renaissance that's all about exploration. And then those religious reasons. Make sure you know the Doctrine of Discovery. It's this document that Spain has. Very interesting. It's kind of arrogant if you think about it. Okay, and then of course the conquistadors. Here you got to know who they are. This is all that intro right there. This was all the intro we had. There was a quiz on that for a captain's card. And then the journeys and expeditions of these three conquistadors. Okay, that's important. And you will have something in there which you'll be given a eyewitness account. Like here's an example from a past test. I'm fascinated by that human sacrifice stuff, guys. It's crazy. Couldn't imagine ever seeing that happen. But this conquistador did. Back when they were allowed to be in Tenochtitlan before they fought against the Aztecs. And you have to decide, using what you've been given, what's fact and what's fiction. Highlighting something in the document that supports your choice of fact or fiction. Okay? If you want me to go over that in class, let me know next week. All right, that's it. That's kind of like a look at it all. If you got questions, you need to come and see me. I wish you luck, and I hope you do well in this first test. It'll be a variety of different questions, okay? A variety. Writing, some thinking, okay? I might even ask you a question in which you have to ask me a question. Remember? Okay. See ya.